oh, so what do you do to stay in shape? And he's like, I fight. I'm like, oh, cool. What do you, MMA, like boxing, like what's your deal? And he's like, no, I just meet up with random dudes off Craigslist and I fight them. And you know what? I said, I have to have this man. And I slept with him twice. Probably still would.
All right, guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video. Y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Now, I will say before we get started in this conversation, the clip that I'm getting ready to play for you guys, it's shocking, it's awful, it's absurd, it's terrible, it's horrendous, and it puts a dirty feeling in the pit of my stomach. It's all that and much, much more. But I think it's an appropriate discussion that we need to have. Now, one of the major talking points within the sector is this idea that men control access to relationships and women control access to sex, the viscous innards, okay? And honestly, I think that when a lot of men hear that, actually the women too, when they hear that, and they haven't been hit with that information before, it's shocking to them. It's like, but then if you go back and think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, shit, from a man's perspective, getting down on bended knee, that's a man's thing. The pursuit, right? It's a man's thing. The woman just has to just stand back and kind of wait for it to happen, which is reigned true within my life, and I'm sure the majority of you guys as well. One of the other talking points in the sector is this idea of women refusing to acknowledge or take accountability for the bad decisions or choices in men that they are making, allowing them within the box. This video describes that to a T and so much more. Without further ado.
You see, my problem in dating
What's
is
your problem,
not that
mama?
I don't have high standards. It's
Okay.
that I don't have good standards. Like, for example, last fall, I just started dating again, went out on a date with this guy who was great. I mean, he was attractive, he was tall, good tattoos, he had a chemistry PhD, he was really into me, good taste in music, whatever, whole 9 yards. Gone on a date with him, and I was like, you know what, I'm just not feeling this. Left the date, go back to my apartment, invite.
So on paper, he looks good. He was really into you. You described him as things that you were attracted to. Wasn't really feeling it. Pay attention. Pay attention. It gets real dark.
Invite some random guy over from Hinge to my apartment for the first time. Really brilliant of me. And he brings over as a housewarming gift a really insane book called Behold a Pale Horse, written by a schizophrenic conspiracy theorist. He brings that over as a housewarming gift. And then the first thing he does when he gets there is he microwaves a mug of beer. And I ask him, why would you do that? And he said, well, one summer I was on a random roof, and I found this beer and I drank it, and it reminds me of that. Okay, sure, I guess. He's sitting there drinking his warm mug of beer, and I'm like, oh, so what do you do to stay in shape? And he's like, I fight. I'm like, oh, cool. What do you, MMA, like boxing, like what's your deal? And he's like, no, I just meet up with random dudes off Craigslist and I fight them. And you know what? I said, I have to have this man. And I slept with him twice. Probably still would. You see,
Shut up. Like, what? You know, when looking back on the MCU universe, Marvel Comics, and looking at what Thanos was trying to accomplish, sometimes you just hear shit and you're just like, oh, okay, I get you now, Thanos. Thanos was the good guy. He was the good guy. Bump the Avengers. Thanos was onto something. Guys, this is such a shocking and abhorrent video. I should have probably said trigger alert in the beginning. But to think, right, this whole idea of what women find attractive, right, that mysterious, right, that like, I can't quite figure that guy out, that kind of weird, quirky, you know, he's all about his, you know, masculinity. Will call up random dudes to fight with them. So I got to have him. Help me understand how this makes sense and contrast that to the dude with a good job, good career. He's got the, you know, the height that she was looking for, PhD. He was into you. But instead of delivering the viscous innards to the worthy option, you give it to a vagabond. What? And then they wonder when they say, where did all the good men go? Okay? I don't know your name. I'm going to call you Rogue. I think it's appropriate for that Thanos comparison, as well as that streak through your hair. But Rogue, it's not that you don't have high standards. It's not that you don't have good standards. It's that you have no standards. Listen, I'm trying to be as nice as I can as I say this, but this is fundamentally just, this is deplorable behavior. It is. And see, at the end of the day, right, like, you know, we talk about the importance of low body count, not only just from like, I don't want what was already conquered. And then also you have to relieve the hold that the previous encounters have had on you as well. And to understand that the higher the body count, I think the higher the instability, or at least your ability to make good decisions within the dating marketplace. You're making bad decisions. You have a guy that has the audacity to bring beer over and warm it up in a microwave. You have chosen a guy that goes on Craigslist to fight other people. And now you find this guy. First of all, he's over your house. You don't know him from a can of paint, from a hole in the wall, from a dating app. And he's in your crib in this COVID environment. And then he tells you something about Craigslist, and then you let him inside? What? Where they do that at? There's really not much else to say about this subject besides you make bad decisions. But as long as you can be accountable for the bad decisions that you make and make that decision not to place blame on others. Like, let's say that you got pregnant or something like that, and then, you know, you end off being a single mother and you end up talking shit about this dude. But why did you allow him inside to begin with? All right? Listen, we are all made up, and I'm not just talking about her. We are all made up of a component of our choices and decisions within life. And one of the biggest decisions is who you allow into your life. Last thing I'm going to touch on. I got a homegirl in my life. Okay? Corporate woman. Okay? Went through years of education in corporate America, doing her goddamn thing, really talented. All right? In the dating game, we're having a discussion at lunch, right? Having a discussion. She's on Hinge. She's talking about her prospects. She says, what do you think about this guy? And then shows me a picture of him. I didn't ask, all right? But she wanted my opinion. I looked over at that picture, and the first thing that I saw was gold teeth. I said, put the phone down. Of all of the choices and all of the decisions that you can make in your life to go on a date with, to spend time with, to go deep inside your viscous innards, why the gold teeth, gentlemen? Why that one? I just don't know. There's something about him. Shut up, was my response. I told her to shut up. Of all of the choices, of all of the decisions, it's beyond me. I don't know. Some of the ladies that follow this channel, go down in the comment box down below and try to help me make sense of this. Because for the life of me, I don't have y'all brains. I don't have y'all mentality. Help all of us try to understand this one. Because this I just don't understand. We need some representation from the lady community to help us understand. All right? But until then, we're going to keep on minding our options. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Guys, go follow me on my Instagram, by the way. Keep on sending me content like this because I wouldn't be able to find this content unless it was for y'all. So I appreciate you guys continuing to support the channel. Last but not least, I got a Patreon. Patreon is crazy booming, mega booming, and all that and so much more. Feel free to click the link down in the description box down below to go up there to just support your boy or to be a part of my inner circle, my inner community of dope people striving to be the best people that they absolutely can. All right? I'll see you soon. Until next time, YouTube.